guys, welcome back for another video. Excuse my appearance. Just washed my hair and I don't even know what I'm going to do with this stringy mess, but whatever. Yeah, so this video is about the Snoop Dogg and Gail King controversy, and you know, the obviously precipitated by the death of Gianna Bryant and Kobe Bryant. So I have a lot of conflicting feelings about this issue. So let me just say, as an outsider, because in England we don't really have a basketball culture, we don't know a lot of basketball players. There are a few basketball players who kind of are so big and so global that outside of their country everybody knows who they are. You know, for the most part, most basketball players, were it not for the fact that most of them are like 8 feet tall, so they stand out just generally, they could probably walk around here and nobody would know who they are. So really, the only basketball players that you could really say I know of are, and many people here, if you were to ask them, would probably be Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan, and possibly Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant to a lesser extent. So from an outside perspective, I don't have that level of emotion because, you know, I'm not really a basketball follower, and it's also not part of our culture over here. However, while his death is extremely tragic, I think I probably would have less unease in my heart if his daughter hadn't died with him. And because I'm a parent, the pain, I can only imagine the pain, right? That his family must be feeling at losing their child, their son, their brother, and then also a child who's been lost her life at you know, such a young age. You know, that is something that I think any parent can relate to, and the pain of that I think most of us could imagine or even feel a little bit if you have experienced that. So in that context, I think asking legitimate questions about Kobe Bryant's rape allegations are probably somewhat insensitive, and especially so soon after his death. Because the sad thing is, the way the media has handled his death right from the beginning, I think has just been reprehensible. From the beginning, you had TMZ breaking this story before his family had even been informed that he potentially could be dead. Then immediately the obituaries were, you know, Kobe Bryant and his rape allegation. And then following that, shortly after, Gail King did this interview with Lisa Leslie, asking questions about his rape allegation. And, you know, the thing that people are upset about is that, you know, she kind of pressed Lisa Leslie too much about the possibility of him having raped this woman back in whenever it was, back maybe 15, 20 years ago. Now, Gail King is a journalist, and she has a legitimate right to ask these type of questions. Unfortunately for her, she's operating in an environment in which all these things have happened with the media, and she's sort of at the sharp end of the criticism. And probably primarily because, you know, very few journalists have then conducted interviews with his friends and seemingly refused to accept that he was not a rapist, right? I don't know if he was a rapist. I mean, I haven't read up on the allegations or whatever. Like, that's not I'm not here to dissect or, you know, do a post-mortem on the trial and, you know, the eventual settlement of that rape allegation. The problem is that for Gail King, you know, she is operating in this environment within this context of, you know, the TMZ breaking the story, you know, the fact that people are really upset about Kobe Bryant dying, and then on top of that, his child dying. So because of that, I think she probably should have, if she was going to conduct that type of interview, she should have conducted it at least several months after, you know, his death. And at this point, he hadn't even been buried, right? Him and his daughter hadn't even been buried. And you're conducting an interview in which you are basically saying to somebody, you must be wrong, paraphrasing, you must be wrong that he is a rapist, because as his friend, obviously you would assume that he's not a rapist. And Lisa Leslie kind of said, well, I didn't see him rape anybody. I didn't see him, act in a way in which that would make me believe that he was a rapist. And Gail King was quite legitimate in asking or saying that, of course, as his friend, you probably wouldn't see it. And as his friend, first of all, you're a woman, so, you might not see it. And, sometimes even if you are a woman, guys do behave in certain ways that, you would probably believe that, if somebody said that they were a rapist, you probably would believe it, because you're like, oh, well, I have seen, whatever behavior from him. And, this allegation sounds like it could be true. So with all of that said, he then has Snoop Dogg, a friend of Snoop Dogg, get up on his social media and curse Gail King out. Now he is in his rights to be upset, because I think it was just too soon to conduct that type of interview, particularly when the man wasn't even buried. The man and his daughter weren't even buried. Wasn't even buried. Oh, terrible English. So, he's obviously upset. He's quite right to be upset. But the way in which you just express your upset is completely wrong. You do not curse out a journalist who is just doing their job. Was the timing insensitive? Yes, I would say so. But is it right for Snoop Dogg to call her, the B word, basically insult her looks and essentially threaten her, with somebody's going to get you? Like, now let's not forget that Snoop Dogg, don't forget Snoop Dogg's background. This guy's from Compton, I believe, right? His rap lyrics are about basically killing and murdering people. And from what I can gather, he has, prior to, his now sort of cuddly Snoop Dogg persona that he now has as a near enough 50-year-old man, was, one of violence, right? So basically saying to Gail King that somebody's going to get her is a threat to her life and a threat to her as a journalist. And, journalism is under a lot of threat these days, not least from, the man in the White House to, various other, politicians who kind of don't like the fact that, they're getting scrutiny. And, this is just another attack on a journalist who is effectively just doing her job, So if you want to criticize Gail King, I think he could have done that in an entirely different and constructive way. Now he's apologized, so well done Snoop for apologizing. But I do wonder the reason for his apology. Is it because Gail King has the weight of Oprah Winfrey behind her, and you, Snoop Dogg, as a person who is now, trying to remarket yourself as cuddly granddad Snoop, and don't forget you are a granddad, so you should be setting a better example to the people that follow you, the 100 million people that follow you, or whatever, however many followers he has, plus his children and his grandchildren. You should be setting a far better example of how you conduct discourse, so you cannot try and basically, they've tried to remarket this guy, and he is who he is, like the Snoop Dogg that we saw come out and, basically call Gail King all these names is the Snoop Dogg of old, So all this like trying to remarket him as a Martha Stewart kind of guy, who's like, all gentle and gentle, is clearly like, that's not who he is, And now he's obviously apologized. Who knows what weight, Gail King, Oprah, who ride or dies for Gail King, has done behind the scenes that has forced that apology. Because I wonder just how genuine it is, But anyway, well done for apologizing. I really hope that, this is a lesson to all of us, that we can conduct discourse in a far better way. Think about the people that you are, criticizing on social media. It's very easy to be a keyboard warrior, sitting behind your screen, saying horrible and vile things about people, and you just walk away not even realizing the impact that it's having on that person's emotions and mental health. There's people out here that are killing themselves because of, social media trolls. Think about people. Think about what you are saying, or what you're typing. Be kinder to people. We are so much better as human beings when we are kinder to people. So anyway, that was just, my thoughts on the matter. And, I hope, from now on in, you know, just things can be just better. I don't know. Anyway, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.